Ohio State University Suicide Prevention Program's mission is to engage a campus community of nearly 100,000 students, staff, and faculty through education, outreach, and advocacy. We are committed in creating a systematic, diverse, inclusive, and coordinated effort, and we strongly believe that preventing suicide is a shared campus responsibility. As an undergraduate intern, I was given the opportunity to work on my passion about creating awareness regarding mental health and well being in marginalized communities. I accomplished this by interviewing students on campus who identify as a part of these underrepresented communities. We recognize that international students, students with disabilities, and LGBTQIA students are identified as the most at risk groups.
When I need to confide in someone to talk about my mental well-being, I try to go to friends and family first. I think that consistency is key to just constantly be talking about how you're doing on a day-to-day basis. But when I do need additional support, I try to rely on healthcare professionals such as a therapist or my physician.
I definitely look for someone I can trust, someone who is a good listener and is a calming presence.
I like to think that I have a pretty good support system that includes, my mom, my siblings, my friends, and other family members. But I also think it's important to realize that, these individuals in your life might not be trained to tackle mental health issues and to help you in that sort of way. And so throughout my life, I've really tried to find other support systems, whether that be through therapy or counseling, and, especially in times when I felt like I really needed some help with my emotional stress. But I understand that those resources aren't always readily available for individuals, and sometimes they haven't been available for me. And so in those times in my life, I have resorted to, finding activities that I can use to decompress. I love art, I love music, and these are things that really can help me relieve the stress that I'm feeling, even if I can't get the help that I really need at the time I need it.
Some campus resources that I've used in the past are the counseling and consultation services on campus. I've also used the wellness app that was provided to me through OSU on my iPad. I also started a wellness committee within my pre-medical frat focused on wellness, mindfulness, and just destigmatizing mental health within such a stressful community. And on a day-to-day basis, I try to use the OSU campus as a resource just to get out of the house.
When I need to find support on campus, I'll definitely go back to counseling and consultation services. If you live on campus, I definitely recommend reaching out to your RA or even any other mentor type person that you're close to around OSU. Even if they don't have the answer or the support that you're looking for, they can direct you to someone who can help you.
Counseling and consultation services, I believe that's a great option. However, oftentimes because we live on a big campus, it can be hard to come by appointments. And so I think it's important that you look at different parts of the Ohio State community that can help you. And I think a great example of that are the courses that Ohio State has to offer. And there are courses that can help students learn how to practice mindfulness, like yoga, and also that give students study strategies that can help reduce stress in that aspect. And I think it's important to know that these resources exist. And although they're a little bit more not conventional in this aspect, they can still be really helpful, and I think that's important to know.
I do believe that mental health is perceived differently for different groups. I think that there are many marginalized communities that have mental health stigmas that do need to be addressed. And I can only speak to my experience as a person of color who identifies as a woman with a disability. But for me personally, I've seen mental health stigmas and seen mental health being dismissed within my Chinese and Persian community growing up. And I think that's something that we need to destigmatize and talk about as a community because it's more common than you think.
I do believe that mental health is unfortunately perceived differently in different groups. I have witnessed and unfortunately seen a lot of people refrain from acknowledging mental health and mental health issues, whether it be something like masculine presence, toxic masculinity, or different cultures, or even people who are just afraid to reach out. I've definitely noticed that mental health has different perceptions on people and also different mentalities that go with it.
So, throughout history, the consequences of marginalization and oppression have caused communities to reject the concept of mental health issues as sort of a protective mechanism. And I think that for this reason, resilience is often prioritized over vulnerability. And it's at no fault of the community themselves. It's actually a result of the systemic oppression that exists in our society. But I think it's important for mental health professionals to understand, mental health professionals and educators, to understand that these stigmas do exist and to find ways to engage those communities despite these stigmas.
I think the number one reason is definitely stigma or the lack of support that people have in their communities. Some may feel like they're weak talking about suicide prevention or thinking that they're alone within their communities when in reality it's a lot more common than people think.
If there is one thing that you would want to tell other students who are going through a difficult time, what would it be?
I would say remember why you're here, remember why you wanted to be here, and when you're not feeling that strong, you can use that as a strength, and always reach out to your friends, reach out to people that make you feel good and make you feel uplifted and give you support.
So as a Black woman and a member of the LGBTQ plus community, I just want people to know that there are people who look like you, people who live like you, people who think like you, who have struggled with or are struggling with mental health issues. And it's just important to know that, you are not alone.
One thing that I'd tell other students that are going through a difficult time would be that treatment options aren't the same for everyone, and you're going to have to find the best treatment option just for you, and that is unique to you. And there's no rush to magically feel better because this is everybody's separate journeys, and everybody deserves to find happiness, and I know that everybody on this campus is strong enough to do so.